Being illegally on playing fields and pockets of public land in the Black Country has become the #1 issue for some of the region's MPs. The problem's been hotly debated at Westminster today. Dudley South MP Mike Wood and Helen Jones from the Gypsy Traveller Exchange are with us live tonight to try to find some solutions. But first of all, Joanne Riddle has been to Walsall, where local people are angry at the mess left by the latest Travellers' encampment.
Travellers have turned up here at Woodend Park in Walsall twice in 3 months, and people living nearby aren't happy.
The kids don't go to school. If our kids didn't go to school, we'd be arrested and locked up. They think it's fine for them, and they're poor kids. But what are they going to grow up thinking that's their way of life?
My biggest concern is that there's a lot of old age pensioners that live around here, and they're actually frightened.
Most of the caravans have now moved on, but on Tuesday an 84-year-old woman claimed she was bitten by a dog. A counsellor showed me a picture of the injury.
She was surrounded by 20 dogs as her and her husband were walking through the travellers' site. And then one of these dogs, as they were trying to fend them off, one of the dogs bit her on her leg, and the travellers told her she was trespassing.
This week, MPs debated the issue of travellers.
Gypsy and traveller-related matters, and in particular unauthorised encampments, is currently the single biggest issue in my post bag.
In Smethwick, Sandwell Council's opened a site where travellers can pay a £250 deposit and £80 a week to stay. The camp's been used just once so far, but the council says there's been a 50% decrease in illegal encampments.
We can now move on encampments within hours. By having the site available, it allows us to unlock additional powers that we didn't previously have available in conjunction with West Midlands Police. And we're the only council in the West Midlands who has that facility.
So, would the travellers over in Woodend Park use it? None of the travellers here in Walsall want to go on camera, but I have spoken to one man who said that he didn't know about the site over in Smethwick, but he said that he would be prepared to pay to use it. Many say the issue of where travellers should go is a mess, and following the parliamentary debate, the government's promised to look closely at the law to see what can be done. Joanne Riddle, BBC Midlands Today.
Well, joining us now are Mike Wood, MP for Dudley South, and Helen Jones, who's the Chief Executive Officer for the Gypsy and Traveller Exchange. Good evening to you both.
Hello.
Good evening.
Helen Jones, if I could come to you first of all. MP saying it's their #1 issue right now. Residents are angry. What do you say to that?
I say they should look to the approach taken in Leeds, where we've managed to reduce nuisance considerably, we've reduced mess considerably, and we've saved the local authority and the police between them £230,000 per year.
How have you done that?
By negotiating with the families, by making sensible agreements about behaviour and length of stay.
If I can come to you now, Mike Wood, what has been the upshot of the debate in the Commons today?
Well, the debate in the Commons has obviously been focused on unauthorised traveller camps, such as the ones you've been seeing, such as the ones we've had in Dudley over the summer and last summer, and the broad agreement that what's needed, broader and more flexible powers to make sure that travellers can be moved away from unauthorised sites more quickly towards authorised camps, such as the one you've seen in Sandwell.
Helen Jones, why do they go to unauthorised sites?
Simply because there aren't enough authorised places, but actually we have proven here in Leeds that we can come up with an intermediary solution without having to go creating more powers, and frankly we need to be really careful about what we wish for, because the existing powers that year on year MPs have been going to the government and insisting that we have are exactly the reason why we're in this situation now.
So what would you say to Mike Wood, MP?
I would say that what we've done here in Leeds is exactly with the type of unauthorised encampments that he's speaking about. We've done lots of evaluation, we've got lots of reports that we can share, and rather than just dealing in catchy sound bites, please come and investigate where we have actually managed to create solutions to what is clearly a difficult problem.
Does that grab your imagination, Mike Wood?
I'm afraid it doesn't. In Dudley, we've got sites that local authority sites, private sites. Those are fine. That's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about are things like the camp we had last summer in just outside King Swinford in my constituency, where we had a dozen different sites, and we had People, it was defecating, urinating across play areas.
Just let me cut across you there,
fields.
Helen Jones, just very briefly. This is the thing. Residents are furious about this sort of thing. Even if they're on an unauthorised site, authorised site, at least they can clean up and leave the place decent.
I think the MP seems to have something wrong with his hearing. What he's describing is exactly the type of situation that we've managed to resolve here in Leeds. And I implore him, please, to come and investigate that as a solution. An intermediary solution, because obviously what we need is permanent sites.
OK,
but
both of you,
need to be
I'll have to
very
leave it there,
careful.
I'm sorry, run out of time, but thank you both
you.
for joining us this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Sunday Politics will be tackling the Travellers issue. That's on BBC One this Sunday morning from 11 o'clock.